Hey everyone. Now I've got another road trip coming up, going to head up north, and this time, instead of carrying a spare battery around in case the car has the issue like it had in Coffs Harbour, I've got one of these jump packs here, just from super cheap for 130 bucks, and I'm just going to have a look at it. But basically, the issue was, for those who don't know, I had an issue in Coffs Harbour where one of the high power chargers sent some sort of jolt through the car and it upset the BMS on the 12 volt battery. It shut down. At the time, I just urgently bought a 12 volt battery from Bunnings to jumper across it to get the car going, and that's what I did. But the original factory battery was fine, and it turns out it just needed a stable 12 volts for like 20 minutes apparently. The jury's still out on what exactly happened, but that's pretty much what the consensus is. But instead of carrying a 12 volt battery around, I'm just going to carry this jump start and just keep it in front of the car. All right, bits and stuff. Okay, that's right, I think he's got a torch somewhere. It goes to the car. Right, this cannot possibly be exciting, but I think you just charge it with a USB cable. I saw online, giddy fucking thing. There you go. Stick that in there. Yeah, USB-C in. So I assume that's how I charge it. So let me just find some sort of 5 volts. This is standby power from the computer, which might not do anything. Oh, it does. Let's have a look. 86. So it ships with 86. So I'll put this on the fast charger and charge this thing up. Actually, what I'll do first is turn it on. Boom, like that. Just have a look at the old voltage here. What do we got? Fucking nothing. Okay, so that said nothing. I'd say it needs some sort of reference to know it's actually on something before it turns itself on. So it's got this button here that says below 2 volts, low voltage boost button. Let me press that. And then it turns on. Oh, while I pressed it. No, it's just fucking sat there. 0.5 volts. Right, so what I think's happening is, because there's no load on this, it doesn't do anything, and that button that says for low battery if it's below 2 volts, so basically if your battery's really dead, then press that and it will force it no matter what. So what you probably just saw, it did jump up a voltage initially before it sat on half a volt, because there's still no load. So I think that's what's happening. But I'll try and power something from this. Actually, I'll try that theory again now that it's turned itself off. It turns itself off after like half a minute or something. So turn that on there, and there'll be nothing here because there just isn't. Now, when I press this button, I think that will jump up. I'll hold it this time. Yeah, it jumped higher, then it dropped down. Whoop, there you go. Oh, I had to hold it on. Now it's got 16 volts. Okay, so I had to hold that. Now, you probably just heard that relay click. It had a ready sign on there before, and it doesn't now. So I dare say that'll be 0 volts until I press the button. So when the ready symbol's on there, that's when it seems to have voltage. I'm going to do that again. So, low voltage, I'm going to press that and hold it this time. There you go, just got to hold it a bit. Right, now I'll put it on charge here in the cupboard next to the gravy. So I can plug this in. And what's it say? It's flashing. I guess that means it's charging. If I have this, it would be better for me if I, instead of alligator clips, I had an Anderson connector there. So this would plug into the jump pack, and then the Anderson connector just plugs straight into the battery, because it'd have to be on there for like 20 minutes or more, depending on the mood of the car. So it's one particular incident that I'm doing this for. So I might get rid of those alligator clips and put an Anderson connector on the end there.
So that's holding underneath that. There's like a little hook.
Oh yeah, I think I get you.
So usually you can push it in and then, but usually there's a bit of cable attached to it, so it makes it easy.
It doesn't look easy.
That's what I said. There's usually a bit of cable.
This looks like a pain in the ass.
It is. It's the idea is they're not meant to come out. Like,
yeah, I suppose.
That might be not the right screwdriver. There you go. See?
Yeah, kind of. Roughly. So what was holding that in?
So a little leverage there.
Yeah.
Hooks under that.
Hooks under what?
So that sits like that. That ridge there hooks under
yeah,
that.
okay.
And that's so you slip it in and it's spring loaded because it's holding it up and it's pushing against that and can't come out.
Right.
I've already unlatched it and then basically just
Oh, so it'll push back that way.
push back that way.
Okay, so they're spring loaded. They lift up and it hooks
So
over.
basically it's sitting there like that.
Yeah, okay.
Can't get out.
Got it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this up here to mutilate this basically. As I just said, I would mutilate it because I can't fucking get in there. And I think this channel's becoming rougher and rougher. But you get the idea. I just want as much cable as I can from this. That one came off all right. Before I try to put the Anderson connector on. I'm going to give it to Mr. Razorblade here. I've already lost one of the this one there. I've already lost one of the bloody...
He'll be around.
A few extra strands won't mind, mate. That's all right. Already lost the other one.
It's really flexible shit, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's pretty
It's a bit loose.
it's a bit loose. That's what I was saying, how I was saying they got different size.
Yeah, it's just that I had that connector there, so I thought if it works, it works.
Oh, the other one's sitting.
So this ain't exactly a hexagonal crimper, but it'll do. Probably just bust straight through it if you're not careful. Just walk that up a bit. I mean, I'm not going to be swinging off the thing. Yeah. Alright, cool. How close can we get that in there?
Don't get too much just because it's
Yeah. Like I said, I'm not going to be swinging off it, that'll do. They're not too bad.
one day to buy the right crimper.
I'll put some heat shrink on there just to make it look good anyway. Now before I put these back in the housing here, I'm going to put heat shrink on even though I have absolutely no need to do that, but I like putting heat shrink on, so I'm going to put some on. Alright, that's all nice and neat, and since this one says positive, I'll put that one on first, and apparently it should just go in. Push that through. There he is. That's it there, clipped in. Shove the other one in, and that should be pretty much it. They're locked in, they're solid. Done. There's my cable. Right, so there's a package. 100% charge on the starter pack. My little adapter here to go to the Anderson connector on my battery. And a little USB charge cable there. So that's that. Alright, so it's in this case. And I'm just going to put it in the front of the car where all the other electricals type stuff hangs out. So in here I've got one of these extension leads. That's not actually mine. Extension lead there. Power from the car. Power to the car from any old 10 amp socket. And this can just live in there. Like that. And that's that. Right, so I'm going to head off for another camping trip. Heading off this time. And hopefully it goes better than last time. Anyway, that'll do for now. So until next time, take it easy.